Let me first start off by saying welcome to the 2019-2020 school year. This is the introduction video for American history. Every day when you log into class, you're going to see this screen. It's your responsibility during the first 5 minutes of class to do whatever's on the board. In today's case, there's a quick survey that I would like you to fill out to give me more information about yourself. In a moment, the recording will pause and you will get the link for the survey. This year at North Carolina Virtual Academy, our entire social studies department came up with a goal for all of our students. So our hope is that by the end of the semester, you will understand that there is power in your citizenship and that you practice an awareness of others. And we also hope that we can give you an education that's going to emphasize skills that support your development as we work on looking at the craft and structure of evidence, as well as increasing our reading comprehension skills and our effective writing skills. So the remainder of this recording is just to go over our American history class and what you should expect this semester. So the voice you're hearing right now is me, Mrs. O'Brien. I'm in my 11th year of teaching. I taught in brick and mortar, traditional school for 6 years before I came to NCVA. I've been with NCVA since day one, so that makes this my 5th year of teaching here. I have my master's in teaching curriculum and instruction for social studies, and this semester I'll be teaching all of the American History 1 courses. Now, it's important that you remember that I am a real person. I'm not just a name on the other side of the screen. So if you need help with anything, please reach out to me. You can use my email address, which of course you can get to from the online high school. You can call me. So you call the school number. My extension is 1041. And of course, you can always ask me questions in class. Please just remember that I do follow the 24-hour rule in getting back to people. That 24 hours is Monday through Friday. So the expectation is if you contact me and for some reason you can't get a hold of me, I am going to get back to you in 24 hours. So if you leave me a phone message, I'll get back to you in 24 hours. If you leave me an email, I'll get back to you in 24 hours. Now on weekends, I may or may not check my email, so the 24-hour rule doesn't count on weekends. It's just Monday through Friday. And if for some reason you send me an email or you leave me a message and I don't call you back in 24 hours, please call me again or email me again. Sometimes something might come up or sometimes an email can get lost. So please know that if for some odd reason I don't get back to you in 24 hours, it's not on purpose, and just feel free to email me or call me again. I think it's important that you know what the expectations are for you as a student. So of course, the first expectation is that you attend Class Connect every single day. If you miss Class Connect for some reason, we hope that you can make up the recording in 24 hours, but we know that's not always possible. So just make sure you make it up by the Sunday at the latest. So if you miss class on Tuesday, make sure by Sunday you've watched the recording. You need to make sure you complete lessons every day. You check your announcements every day, and you read and respond to emails every day. So this is not a class where you can do work one day and not do work the next day. Every single day, Monday through Friday, you have expectations, whether it's Class Connect or doing your work or checking your email. That's your job as the student. So what will your week look like for this class? You will spend 2 hours a day in this class, okay? So the first hour is always our mandatory Class Connect, and the second hour is always to spend time working on whatever assigned lesson we have for that day. We split this class into kind of 2 different work areas. The first is the online high school. So when you're in the online high school, you're focusing on the content. So that's like the who, the what, the where. This is where your textbook is. When you're in the online high school, this is where your reading quizzes and the lessons are. That's really just focused on the content. When we're in Class Connect, we're focusing on the skills. So this is where we take the content that we learned in the online high school and we start applying it and we start doing activities. And we have 4 skills that we're going to be working on this semester. We have using chronological thinking, using historical comprehension, using historical analysis and interpretation, and using historical research. So every day when you come into Class Connect, we're going to be practicing one of these skills. It's very important that you keep up with the lessons in the online high school. That way you know what the content is. You know what we're talking about in Class Connect, and you'll be able to do the activities that go with these skills. As I've already mentioned before, part of your student expectation is checking your class announcements and your class plan every day. I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows where you can find this in the online high school. So when you log into our American History page, right in the middle of your screen, you'll see class announcements, and that will tell you anything that's important for that day. And then over here on the left-hand side, there's a class plan. And you also can click the plan button at the very top. Either way, it's going to show you the particular lessons that you need to accomplish that day. One of the first things you need to do is check the course materials tab. That's going to be found in the content menu. So at the very top of the content menu, it'll say course materials. And there's a few important things you need to make sure you review. You need to make sure you look at the syllabus for the class so you know all the expectations. It's also important that you realize that you have an online link to your American History book. And so you'll be able to, if for some reason you don't have the hard copy in front of you, you can always get the digital copy by clicking there. And again, all of this can be found in the course materials. Now, our American History book is actually the same book that you'll use for both American History 1 and American History 2. So when you finish this course, it's important that you don't send back your book because you're going to need it again for American History 2. And in a moment, the recording will pause and I'll give you the link that I just also showed you under the course materials for the online version. All right, so let's talk about the assignments and your grade. Your grade's made up of many things. First of all, it's made up of Class Connect participation, so both your exit tickets and your class notes are required and you get points for them. And then daily, you do have lessons in reading and quizzes in the online high school that you need to take. Most of your reading quizzes you get 3 attempts for. Occasionally, we have discussion boards. There's always 1 test per unit. You only get 1 attempt at the test, so make sure you are ready to take it. And then every unit we have some supplemental assignments. These are additional assignments that help us practice those historical skills that we talked about earlier. All right, I'm going to pause for a second. This slide is specific for my honors students. So for those of you who are in American History 1 honors, you'll know whether or not you're in honors because when you log into the OHS, it'll say honors at the top. But I want to talk about what's different about the assignments for your class. You still have Class Connect participation points. You still have daily lessons in reading in the online high school, but pay attention to what I have highlighted in yellow. In the honors portion of this class, you will have discussion boards every single unit. For your test in the honors portion, there is also a writing portion, so not just the multiple choice, you have to write as well. You still have supplemental assignments that practice those skills every unit. And then the big difference with the honors class is that we spend all of quarter 2 working on an honors project. You do that as well as the lessons in the online high school. So know that after October 18th, when we get into quarter 2, you will also be spending extra time every week working on that honors project. Let's talk a bit more about Class Connect. Class Connects for American History 1 are Monday through Friday. They are required. This class does not have a specific small group time. So if you need help, it is super important that you email me and I will be happy to set up a time where I can make sure that we can get you some extra help. As I mentioned earlier, if you miss class, please try to make up the recording in 24 hours. If that's not possible, Sunday at the very latest. When you're in Class Connect, participation is required. So it's important that you know right now that your name will be called multiple times this semester. probably close to every single day. When I call on you, I might ask you to answer something in the chat. If you want to jump on the microphone, that's even better. You can answer in the microphone, but when you're called on, the expectation is that you respond. Now, if you don't know the answer, that is totally okay. We have what's called SOS. So if for some reason I called on you and you're not sure, you could type SOS in the chat and one of your classmates or myself will help you. Please know that I do not expect everyone to be perfect, but I do expect everyone to try and participate. As I mentioned earlier, class notes are required for this class. Okay, and I give you a template that I want you to use. So this is the Word document that you are required to use to take your class notes in. You'll be able to download this and get a bigger version, but it has the unit we're working on, what week it is, the date of the class, answers to our starter questions. Remember at the beginning of class I said you'll always have some review questions that you're answering. You'll put those answers there. Class notes, so whatever we're typing up, whatever activity we're doing, you'll put your class notes there. When we do our class activity, you will put either your answers, or if we're doing something on the whiteboard, you can take a picture of the whiteboard of what you did and copy and paste that in. I give a code word every day, so whatever the code word is, you would write that down, and then whatever the answer for the exit ticket is, you'd write that down. And you would keep one document for every unit. So when you're in the content menu and you're looking at a particular unit, for example, this is Unit 1, there's a tab that says Class Connect Notes, and if you click the link will give you this document. You save the document for all of Unit 1, and then every day you add your notes to your Unit 1 document. Every Friday, you will turn in your notes. At the very latest, you have until Sunday, but on Sunday, the Dropbox will close. So if you don't turn in your notes by Sunday, you lose those points, okay? The exit tickets, there's also an exit ticket quiz in the online high school at the very end of class. It's a one question quiz, and you also put your code word in, and you'll just put the answer to whatever the exit ticket question is during the day. And then again, like I kind of just talked about, please remember that I'll also be asking you to use your polling, your chat box, your whiteboard, your breakout rooms. All of that's going to be happening during Class Connect. Let's finish up talking about Class Connect with just some general expectations. It's super important that you come to class early, or that you come to class on time. Early's better, but at least on time, because we have lots to do every day. If you do have back-to-back classes, and what I mean by back-to-back is maybe you have an 8:15 class and a 9:15 class, you can still log in early to my class. Everybody can log in 15 minutes early. Just come in and turn your away button on. That way I know you're in another class, and then when your other class ends, you can just quickly X out of that one and come back to our class and turn your away button back on, so I know you're there. Please keep in mind that when you are talking with other students, you should be talking about the content of the class and nothing else. This one's really important. You guys are not to share any personal information in class. Phone numbers, emails, address, anything that has to do with your social media, you're not allowed to share it during Class Connect. That's a school rule. I expect everyone to be respectful to each other. We are a team and a family, and you will hear me talk more and more about that all semester long, but we work a lot in groups, and so it's important that everybody is kind and helpful towards everyone. If you do have to step away from your computer, please put on your away button so I know you're gone. Otherwise, I'm sitting there calling your name, and I'm going to be like, uh-oh, where are they? And then finally, I do use basically what's called a missing in action room, or some people call it the where are you room. Different teachers have different names. But if for any reason you go missing, or you're having disrespectful behavior, or something's going on that's not acceptable in class, just know that you will be moved to a separate room, and I'll be contacting your learning coach to discuss whatever's happening. All right, and just so you know what that breakout room looks like, if for some reason something happens, you're going to see a slide that looks like this that basically says, let's get back on track. Where are you? Let's get going so that we can do class. If for some reason you do not respond to me within 5 minutes, you will be removed from class, and the expectation is that you go back and watch the recording of what you missed. Let's talk about our daily lessons and assignments real quick. There are many ways that you can get to our daily assignments. Of course, on your landing page, you definitely can click on the classes, or excuse me, the schedule tab, and you'll see all your lessons for the day. I recommend though that you actually go to our class page. This is the better way, either using the plan button here or the plan button there to get to our assignments. For some reason, sometimes the landing page doesn't talk with the online high school. It's not always a problem, but sometimes it is. So to avoid that problem, this is the best way. Just go straight to our class page and use one of the plan features. If you're someone who likes to plan ahead and see what's coming up, when you use this plan feature at the top, there's an option that says list. This is great because this literally will list out the entire semester. So if you're someone who likes to plan ahead, this is a great way that you can plan ahead. You also have the ability to print things off. So if you want to print off a schedule, you can do it from right here. Whether you're in the honors class or the regular class, you will be doing discussion boards. So one thing I wanted to bring up with discussion boards is that you always need to respond to at least 2 classmates. Okay, so you put your original post and then you need to read what other people put and respond to at least 2 classmates because after all, it is a discussion. Some friendly reminders for unit test. The unit tests close on Sunday. I know I've said this once, but I need to tell you again. No matter when we finish a unit, and most of the time we do finish units on Fridays, you have a few extra days to get it done. But if you don't do it by the Sunday night, that test score becomes a 0, and nobody wants a 0. Also, again, you only have one attempt, so make sure that you're ready to take that test and you give it your best because you only get one try to take that unit test. We're almost done, I promise, but there's some other general information that I do want to go over quickly. We use the school late work policy. If you were here last year, this is the same exact late work policy that we have last year, but I'm going to go over it real quick. So for lesson checkpoints and quizzes, these always stay open. These are your daily assignments. If you don't do it, you're going to get a 0. But as soon as you take the test or take the quiz or do the checkpoints, then you get your points. Teacher graded assignments. So this is any type of assignment that you turn into the Dropbox. So if we're doing an activity in class and I tell you to put it in the Dropbox or there's some type of supplemental skill, you basically have a 2-week late window. If you turn it in somewhere within 7 days late, and that's calendar days, so even Saturday and Sunday count against you, you're automatically going to lose 10%. If you're in the second week of it being late, you're automatically going to lose 20%. And if you don't get that assignment turned in within 14 calendar days, that assignment's just going to remain a 0. The exact same is true for discussion boards. They also follow the 2-week late window. And then the unit test, just like I told you, you have a grace period until Sunday night. If you don't do it by Sunday, your score remains a 0. It's really important that you make a habit of checking your grade in the online high school. Your landing page will show you a grade, but it doesn't give you the details. When you're in our class page and you click on grades, notice it'll tell you every assignment. It'll tell you what the points were, what grade you are, and if there's any type of feedback. So, maybe I tell you to correct something and turn it back in. You're going to find that feedback here. This is the only place you can see it is under grades. So you need to make sure at least every couple of days you're looking at the grade menu. So the term constructed response is something you're going to hear a lot in this class. Basically, a constructed response is a paragraph that we write that answers a question. The big thing about a constructed response is that we're using the evidence to answer our question, okay? And we always follow the same format, which is first to restate the question as a sentence so that your reader knows what you're talking about. Define the topic, so tell your reader what the topic is. You're going to give and explain 2 specific examples, once again, using the evidence, and then, of course, give a conclusion. Don't worry, this is something we're going to go over a lot in this class, but I did want to bring up the graphic organizer. I give you all a graphic organizer, and this is in the online high school to help you write these paragraphs. Please take advantage of it, and to encourage you to use it, I'll give you 2 extra credit points if you turn this in with your paragraph. So by the time you're watching this video, I probably have a brand new baby girl due in August. So for the first 3 weeks of class, we will not have live class. Hear me again, first 3 weeks we will not have live class. You still have recordings every single day though. And I have these recordings posted in the OHS just like this recording was. And it's your responsible to watch the recording every day. Please, please, please just go ahead and watch it during our normally scheduled class time so you get used to coming to American history so that when I'm back in 3 weeks, it's nothing new. So if your normal class time is 8:15, then you should be watching the video every day at 8:15. If your normal class time is 1 o'clock, then you should be watching the video every day at 1 o'clock. You will need a Play Post-it account. Don't worry, in tomorrow's recording, I'll explain how to do this. I'll also put directions in the online high school, but that's how you're going to access the recordings. This also lets me know, yes, you did the recording, or no, you didn't do the recording. Please know that during this time, even though we won't have live class, I'm still available every day. I will be answering emails, I will be grading, I will still be keeping up with our course. We just won't have live classes. Everything will be just like normal. Again, the only difference is for the first 3 weeks, we will not have live class. All right, you made it. This is the end of the recording about American History 1 this semester. The exit ticket today, you should have already done this. This is the same link from the very beginning of class. Please just be sure that you fill this out all the way because this information is super helpful so that I can help you. I am looking forward to seeing you guys in live class connect very soon. I'm looking forward to talking to you over emails and have a great semester. This is going to be awesome. I love American history and I'm so excited you're joining us.